Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to showcase a new use case for TransformersPHP using the recently released Llama 3.2 models by Meta. If you're not already familiar with TransformersPHP, it's a PHP library that allows you to run pre-trained machine learning models natively without having to rely on external APIs or services. So you get to keep everything local and secure. A few days ago, Meta announced the release of Llama 3.2. What really got me excited are the small text-only models, the 1 billion parameter models and the 3 billion parameter models. They are lightweight enough to run on device, and yes, they are fully compatible with Transformers PHP. So that means you can run them on CPU using Transformers PHP, and at the moment, Transformers PHP doesn't support GPU. But then even the CPU performance is considerably fast. So before we dive into the code, let me quickly show you what we've built today. I've set up a simple Laravel, Livewire, and Volt project to show this, and we have a basic UI here where you can input the prompt, and below it you have the section where the output will appear after we submit the text for processing. So let's see this in action. What is FFI in PHP? And allow it to go. So the model is a 1.6 gigabyte model, and it's doing a fantastic job here. The definition is correct. It's doing a good job now. So it's going to cut anytime from now because I set a limit of, I think, 128 tokens so that we don't have to sit here and watch it generate all through the video. But yes, it's doing a fantastic job. Don't mind the code examples. It's entirely wrong, but we're not here to critique the model or test whether it's doing a fantastic job or not. That's fine. So let's move to the code and see how things work under the hood. First things first, I've already set up Transformers PHP and pre-downloaded the model. One cool thing about Transformers PHP is that it allows us to configure a directory where the downloaded models are going to be cached to avoid, downloading the model each time you want to use it. So I use a global cache directory for my use case to store all the models I downloaded from the hub, which makes it super convenient to reuse these models locally across my different projects without having to, download the same model over and over again. Your setup may be different from mine, that's fine, but the cache directory defaults to, it defaults to .transformers cache directory if you didn't set up anything. So for a Laravel project, the recommended place to set that up is in the app service provider. So in mine, you're going to see I set it up to this global directory. If you don't set anything, it goes to this directory at the root of your project, which still works fine. For a Laravel project, however, I would recommend you using any directory under the storage directory so that it can be excluded from version control. So let's inspect our Volt component and see what's going on. So we have prompts, the state property prompt, we have the output, we have a flag, and we have a messages array. So if you've used anything AI in Laravel before, you should recognize this. It's an array of items, each having a role and a content. So we have different roles. We have a system role, we have a user role, we have an assistant role. So the system role in our case is very simple. You are a helpful assistant. And then if you check the structure of our project, we have a form with a single input and then the section for showing the output. So once we submit the input, we call the start generating method, and this is where the main work happens. So we clear the outputs, we append a new item to the messages array with the role of user, and the content is our prompt, and then we instantiate the model using the pipeline helper from Transformers PHP. So this helper wraps a lot of functionalities. Actually, you can do all these manually. Transformers PHP provides you with the models that you can, do your pre-processing, do your tokenizing, decode, and all other steps that happen. You can do it manually. But the pipeline helper makes it very fluent, very easy to get started with text generation or any other task you want to perform. So in our own case, we want to perform text generation. And I'm also using this model repository from the hub. We're going to see it in a minute. You'll also notice I'm passing the model file name as model Q4. This allows me to control which specific checkpoint I want to load. Now, if you head over to the model repository on Hugging Face, you see that we have different checkpoints with various quantization levels like Q4, FP16, int8. Transformers PHP currently does not support float system models. And while it supports int8 models, I tried it and the performance was horrible. It was not giving me coherent responses. So we are going to stick with model Q4 for this demo. So let's go back to the code. After instantiating the model, the next thing we do is to set up a text streamer. With text generation, you don't get the entire output in one go. It usually generates new tokens iteratively. So using a streamer, we can listen to when each new token is generated and do something with it in real time. The should skip prompt method is to prevent us from streaming out the original input prompt. So we just want to start streaming from the newly generated texts. Then I've also set the stream mode to full because of how Livewire streaming works. Now, the text streamer supports two stream modes, the full and partial stream mode. In partial stream mode, the text we get here is the newly generated text in the last iteration, while in full stream mode, you get the entirely generated text. Now, in partial stream mode, you can append the text to the currently printed out text, and you're good to go. While for the full stream mode, you have to replace the whole text with this text. Livewire stream supports both, appending and then replacing. But I chose full stream mode specifically because I want to pass the entire text as markdown before printing it out. And if I pass the text individually, it won't give me the context I need for markdown for things like bold, for tables, for lists, and so on. So talking about streaming, Livewire has this feature of streaming events to the front end. It's not necessarily a feature of Livewire. It's available in Laravel. We can do stuff like response, I think stream. Yeah, response stream, and then we can upgrade a connection from a basic HTTP connection to an SSE connection. So Livewire streaming allows us to send back data to the client without terminating this connection. And it uses SSE under the hood, which is more simpler than WebSockets. And it works perfectly for this use case since we only need to send data to our clients. Then next, we invoke the model and pass our messages array and also our streamer. One more argument I passed is the max new tokens argument to control the maximum number of new tokens that can be generated before the model cuts off the generation. You can set it to any number you like and set it to 512 or to any number you like actually. Just don't exceed the internal maximum of the model itself. There are other models you can pass like temperature, you can pass 0.7 or something like that. We have blue sample, we have top K, we have top P. There are a lot of parameters you can pass here. They are all documented properly. So for our output, the text generation pipeline also gives us, or it does this handy thing of appending the generated output, that is generated text, to the messages array, and then returning a new array with the new item of role assistant. So that means we just need to overwrite the messages array with this new output, and we have the updated array. Then finally, we update the output with the last item in the array so that it can be printed out, and we set the flag to false. And with that, we get our nicely formatted outputs directly in the browser. So let's go back and do a few more demos. Let me refresh for a bit. Let's see, what do we ask? Okay, what is diffusion? In a few words, please. Okay, let's see. Diffusion is a process by which particles or substances move from. Okay, that's fine. And since we've appended this output to our messages array, we still have the same context and we can ask questions based on it. Where can it be applied to? Okay. Okay, that's nice. Great. So in this case, we did not hit the limit. So I was able to conclude before hitting the limit. Let's just push it a little bit further. In a tabular format, pair it with osmosis. Let's see. And it's doing a fantastic job. It's doing a really good job. Okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. So that's it. We successfully run Llama 3.2 on CPU using TransformersPHP and streamed the output in real time using Laravel and Livewire. So if you found this useful, don't forget to give TransformersPHP a star on GitHub, try it out yourself, and let me know your thoughts on Twitter. Also, make sure to subscribe for more contents like this where I dive deep into PHP, machine learning, and so much more. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.